Next to the monastery of St. Clare, there is the homonymous church completed between 1690 and 1699. The building consists of a single rectangular nave with no apse and transept. The sober main facade is distinguished by an entrance portal in Lecce stone, surmounted by a niche that houses the limestone statue of St. Clare and attributable to workers from Salento. Near the entrance there is the choir, which is connected to a matroness distinguished by wrought iron grates that prevented the cloistered nuns from being seen during the various religious rites. The arches containing the altars with their respective niches open along the walls of the building. The vault of the church is in wedges, painted and decorated with numerous floral motifs. The high altar, of clear Baroque taste, is the work of Antonio Paradiso da Picerno and was made of carved and gilded polychrome wood. On it stands a large painting of the late 600 by Andrea Miglionico, depicting the Triumph of St. Clare. Other great pictorial works present are the Crucifixion, realized by Pietro Antonio Ferro in 1634, and the Immacolata, attributed to Francesco Solimena. Furthermore, inside the church you can admire some works from the former convent of San Francesco, like a wooden crucifix dating from the mid-7th century by an unknown Calabrian Sicilian author, and the sculptures of San Rocco and the Immacolata Conception, 18th century Neapolitan manufacture. In the Piana district, along Via dei Mille, stands the imposing monastery of St. Clare, probably erected on the remains of a previous defensive structure. Construction works began in 1610 and were completed more than 40 years after laying the first stone. The structure was occupied until 1867, when the monastery suffered the suppression and the forfeiture of assets to the state by the nuns with a cloistered vote. Most of the Clarisse belonged to the richest and noblest families of the city and neighboring villages. The complex is structured on 2 levels, set on an internal courtyard with a rectangular plan. On the first floor there were the facing cells on an internal walkway facing the cloister, while along the outer perimeter there is a service corridor. From Piazza Plebiscito you can see an escape of small arches with a wrought iron diaphragm. This expedient allowed the nuns not to be recognized from afar, but to observe the life that took place every day in one of the nerve centers of the city. Adjacent to the monastery there is a square-shaped watchtower, a reminder of the fortifications that once surrounded the city center. From its summit it dominates a huge range that reaches the Ionian coast. Currently the monastery houses a nursery school on the ground floor, while at the first floor the Municipal Museum Civiltà Contadina e Mestieri Antichi and a space for events and shows.